Did you know that tons of tourists come to Miami and unfortunately end up getting badly injured, hurt, and even killed at hotels and resorts? Happens all the time.
Hi everyone, my name is Eric Mausner. This is Tom Graham. We are the law firm of Mausner Graham Injury Law, and we assist people with all kinds of injuries and accidents around Miami and around the state of Florida.
So today we're going to talk about some of the most common types of injuries and tragedies that we see occurring at hotels on a regular basis. If you were walking here where we are in downtown, you'd see behind us the beautiful Intercontinental Hotel. Now typically, I'd say they do a really nice job. But one common feature they have, as you walk in, there's a large marble foyer and large marble steps. As you can imagine, tons of people walking up, all kinds of weather, humidity, air conditioning, those things can get really, really slick. So for that reason, we see a lot of slip and falls in hotels when water accumulates or the floor is too slippery and it causes people to go down hard.
And I think we also see a lot of swimming pool injuries as well, where areas around pools, such as steps or ramps, don't have non-skid material, don't have handrails, might be lacking other safety mechanisms, and those could lead to serious injuries as well.
Yeah, and we see that one a lot on the cruise lines. Now I'll tell you, probably one of the most tragic set of facts we see in pools or even swimming at beaches or jumping off boats is when people dive into water that's too shallow. It's one of the worst things, and it just makes me cringe to even think about it. But obviously, if you dive into water that's too shallow, if you're not known about it, you can suffer a bad spinal cord or neck injury. We've seen some devastating stuff happen there.
And I think other injuries we see, you could see at hotels in Florida, could be negligent security cases where perhaps there's a high crime area or there's criminal activity going on, and the hotel or the motel doesn't have enough security, inadequate security, and they could have prevented something from happening, and they failed to do it. So we see negligent security, which can involve shooting cases, fights, assault or battery. Could also perhaps even involve sexual assault and human trafficking cases at hotels as well.
Another fact pattern that unfortunately we see a lot with the assaults is that these hotels will hire outside security guard companies. And what we've seen handling a lot of security guard company cases is that they either understaff or they hire the wrong people and don't pay them enough. And that can lead to a real nightmare. We've seen people's rooms being broken into. We have seen people that get assaulted and the security guard doesn't even react or doesn't react on time. So these types of things, you have to be very careful to make sure you're going to a place that's safe, because we know that oftentimes people will be victimized intentionally at hotels, and the hotel industry knows it too.
Another common kind of case that we see at hotels are leak cases. For example, we are currently working on a case where a leak was happening in a hotel gym. Someone didn't see it, they weren't warned about it, they slipped and fell, tore their ACL, and now require surgery. So that's an example of a case that we see. I think leaks are pretty common cases at hotels, and not just hotels, but grocery stores, restaurants, and other establishments.
Apartment complexes.
Exactly.
Obviously, these buildings built here in Miami, a lot of them are old, and we saw a perfect example of something horrible a handful of years ago when the Surfside Tower building collapsed. Now that was an apartment, but if a building that's housing a lot of people isn't properly maintained, if there's something wrong with the foundation, if there are leaks from a swimming pool that cause ongoing issues, I mean, you can see really, really catastrophic damages by not maintaining a property correctly. And obviously hotels and resorts, they have an obligation, I would argue, an obligation to even do a better job than a residential landowner, because you're having people coming in that are unfamiliar and they're relying on you. So we've even seen things in the hotel room itself. For instance, in the bathroom, if the water in a bathtub or a shower is allowed to get way too hot, it's been possible to really badly burn people, and it's even killed children before. That's something that is a horrible tragedy and obviously preventable if the hotel is doing the right thing.
Yeah, we've had cases before where a shower door has fallen on a client, caused injuries. So we see cases where there's items, loose items, or items that are not properly attached to, let's say, a shower, for example.
Yeah.
Those things can cause serious injuries as well.
Things falling off walls. So in all of these cases that we've talked about, these are actually facts coming from cases that we've handled or we know about. And in these circumstances, the hotel or the resort can be held liable. But it's important that you work with personal injury attorneys that are both creative and have the know-how to get the evidence to prove the case and know who to go after and how to do it well.
Yeah. Remember that in Florida, a landowner or a property owner has a non-delegable duty of safety to its guests. So if you are injured on somebody else's property, make sure you call a lawyer. These are not cases you can handle yourself. Corporations love to fight them. They don't settle them for fair money pre-suit. You need an attorney, you need experts, you need to build your case to ensure you get maximum compensation in a premises liability case.
We hope this has been informative and we haven't scared you out of coming on vacation to Miami. But just remember, keep your head on a swivel. If you found this to be interesting or unique, please follow us, like, drop a comment, or reach out anytime. 24/7, we're here to help.